Last week on Overtime.
Like if all lives matter, everyone is equal, if we are all supposed to be equal, right? We're all supposed to be equal. It's like, all right, then why are we, only focusing on sensationalized stories?
That there never was a time that man was not.
Right.
There you go. Okay.
I mean,
right.
It's a crazy coincidence. The timing of it is crazy, but I don't know. I can't say that it is. That's exactly what he was trying to do. But if from a conspiracy theorist perspective, that I could see why. If that was the case, they would want to take that man out.
Right. And then also, what would be the solution as of right now? Like, to like, if you want to eradicate the whole gun problem in America, what would be the solution? Realistically.
They were talking about background checks and shit. I'm like, that still ain't.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Background checks. Cool. All right, but like I'm looking like a little deeper in this shit. All right, under a new Texan law passed in this past September, those aged 18 to 21 can buy guns if they had a protective order because they were at risk of family violence, stalking, prostitution, or sex trafficking. So what was the backstory?
Wow.
What was the backstory? Just taking a sip of cranberry juice, Meyer clutched his throat and sprang to his feet and ran outside and started vomiting violently. And he muttered his last words, "They poisoned me."
Wow.
But that shit is sick in itself.
It is.
Yeah. Like, how you fucking stand on, like,
that's stealing energy.
It's all a game, man.
That's
people be using these situations as opportunities to.
And I'm not leaning one way or the other. I'm just saying, like, why do y'all use opportunities to use your platform as celebrities, whether it be fucking, I'm gonna use his fucking name again, Jamil Hill. You fucking riding this shit. You always use your fucking celebrity to talk about fucking like issues like this. Like, bro, like there's other shit to talk about shit in Chicago. Why don't y'all talk about shit? You know what I mean? Kids starving in elementary schools. Why don't y'all talk about other shit? Like, why do y'all always like feel so compelled to use your celebrity to talk about this shit?
Play on the scripted shit.
Yeah, it sounds like a script every time. Like, I can't be the only motherfucker to see this. Where are we in the timeline? Are we a bridge? Are we at the end of it?
The timeline, as far as like what do you mean? Like,
how I like to categorize it. Where are we in the Illuminati timeline? Because
Illuminati timeline. Now that's more specific.
Because like Troy Reed, not a water or hydrogen base, but magnetic base car.
Feel all magnets, the big old wooden prototype
also killed.
Has a system.
What?
Power generator that was producing electricity off radio frequencies, like pulling electricity out the air, and it was strong enough to power 300 houses in Zimbabwe.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
And they killed them?
Also poisoned.
Wow.
It's basically wireless, the shit, Tesla was talking about, wireless energy.
Strong, what the foundation of society is families. You cannot, dismiss that or ignore that. You can't. There's no way you can look at it. The foundation of all society is families. If you have weak families, you're gonna have a weak fucking society, bro. So,
sorry.
On Mars, that's supposed to be a door. Did you see this junk, Simo?
So it's either a door or no, I'm just
I'm just gonna have a whole bunch of pictures. You just gonna debunk them jokes.
Let's go.
NASA canceled spacewalks after the ISS astronaut helmet fills with water. In space, is space water like always?
Wow, that's crazy.
Space water.
Interesting.
It with water
this week.
Either that, or they have water in their suits. And they're converted.
Mars always red from afar and not red up close.
Yeah, exactly. This is crazy.
Answer that.
Like brown.
Mr. Nigga.
Well, see what happens when they take the pictures. It's the X-ray.
You take the photons out.
The photons are transported into neutrons, and thus you have it. Once these insurance companies have to start paying out all this money, I guarantee these insurance companies gonna get up in I don't care, whatever police department asks or whatever. I guarantee once they have to keep paying out all this money since it's somebody black
Like
or whatever.
on a corporate level.
Yeah, on a corporate level, they're not planning on spending out
You
there
think
on a 20. We got to spend money on a 20-year-old.
like
For
corporate
real.
motherfuckers will make a push on like lawmakers.
Yeah,
Yep, quick.
they do it all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Above majestic shit, like the whole secret space program shit. So like, if you believe that means like they had technology way back then, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, all
Man.
that shit. So like all the shit you seeing, anything that got to do gas, fuel, rocket power, all that bullshit,
Exactly.
really is kind of like obsolete and like the whole grand scheme of things as far as like human like progression, because it's like they probably got like anti-gravity type shit, so infinite energy type shit, like, and they just using their leverage of this whole
that's why I like cars having evolved.
So where the nigga literally put he put this shit inside like this old rusty oil rig, and it started off as like a little cube, and then the cube evolved to like a kind of like a tetrahedron. And the tetrahedron evolved to this lotus, and the lotus he put in the fucking old oil rig.
There's some symbols.
This article came out in 2011. It says the U.S. already has 2 free energy patents on file.
And who owns them? Is it the government?
They probably
Yeah, the government.
I think they offer you whatever amount of money, and they put the patent on the back burner, like
on lockdown.
Yeah, center like Iron Man's chest.
Yeah, it do. But it's funny though, because like you be watching all these movies and shit, and it'll be like the villain will have like this, super energy manipulation device and shit, and there'll be some shit that look just like that.
Because I don't know, maybe I'm like privy to it now, but like it's a lot of details that they kind of like check off. They make sure they check off, but it's like everything we watch now, they make sure they check off a whole lot of truth, conspiracy, whatever. What's behind the veil? They make sure they check this shit.
Throw a little bit up in there.
It's like they running out of like make believe, or maybe
creativity.
Like this. Maybe this has been like this the whole time, and
that's what I think. I think it's been like that the whole time. You just probably because this shit been going on since the finale came out for that joint.
Right.
What y'all think about that shit?
You think it was rushed?
I feel like it was rushed. It was rushed. That's why they had to break it up into 2 parts.
All right, what y'all think about Wendy?
Ooh, she get
trash,
on,
bro.
I didn't get on your nerves sometimes. You be like, man, Wendy.
The only thing, obviously I appreciate her ambition and shit, but that woman was soulless, bro.
I feel for Marty.
She didn't have young. She was, like the whole everybody could get it. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody.
Aspect about this shit. So, we watched Snowfall and all that shit. He working with the CIA. So Marty is definitely working with the FBI, giving up names, setting up other cartels.
Everybody.
How can y'all dare say, "Oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist, SpongeBob face"? How can you ever say that shit when this shit is literally in our face? Like how certain people, pharmaceutical companies can move freely and sell outside shit. Why do you think we was in Afghanistan? They was scooping up all the fucking poppy seeds and shit and putting that shit in Percocet and hydrocodone and all the shit. Probably a Fortune 500 company that the lady was working for. That was probably passed down.
But even like how you talking about the cartels. Remember we had talked about it before, like early on one of these, like those big ass drug busts that be like 500 million pounds import from the imports and shit like that. And somebody's talking
1.3 billion cocaine busts.
Like that's wild.
On a JP Morgan chase.
And I bet ain't nobody from JP Morgan get locked up.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody.
Train and shipping company, a Switzerland-based company. Isn't that how people always like clean their money with Swiss bank accounts?
Yeah, that's what they always say.
Wow, there you go, right there. You broke the code. JP Morgan too, just at that.
Right.
It's like how a corporate fucking company owned
And Bahama bank accounts.
Yeah,
Oh
shit.
yeah,
Just be on that.
two spots, Bahamas and Switzerland.
First, so I just been watched WandaVision the last 2 days.
Fire.
Anybody watch that shit?
Fire.
WandaVision?
Is that a movie or a
fire,
show?
nigga.
I hear
It's
great
like a
things
little
about
mini
that
series.
Miniseries, and
I
the
ain't seen
episode's
it.
only 30 minutes, so I knocked it
Man,
down.
that shit was
2 days.
fire.
Bruh, like the whole concept of chaos magic. Ain't we living in this shit right now?
Even funny. I went to go see Everything Everywhere at the same time.
Phenomenal.
That
movie.
shit.
Yeah.
I almost said The Rocks. The Rocks fucked me up.
Oh
I
yeah.
was fucked up with The Rocks. Like every time I say that, people don't see the movie. They be like, "What the fuck is this nigga talking about?" I'm like, "Bro, you got to see the movie." Oh,
This
kill
won't be
me.
original.
Kill me.
Like the originators of TikTok, but like all the shit that we watch on TikTok here, motherfuckers dancing, acting stupid, doing ratchet shit. They can't watch that shit there. Like when they do TikTok over there, they have to do like educational shit, like a shit that betters the society over there. There's none of that goofy,
I respect that shit, man.
Exactly.
You gotta fucking like
something wrong
real.
with
You gotta protect the minds of your people. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? So
it's none of the foolishness over there.
Kids brought guns to school until the 70s.
But
Only 3 school mass shootings between 1903 and 19. Damn, what happened?
3.
Didn't take off until the 90s.
okay, look, like we have so much. We got TV, we got fucking internet, we got video games. There's so much media that projects violence. You know what I'm saying? Where back in the day, I don't think people had that many worries because the suggestion of violence wasn't like so present. But we got music, we got movies, we got video games, we got all this shit. So it's like, in the 90s going forward, I could see, like, I'm saying from like a non-conspiracy perspective. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could see why maybe the drastic levels of violence would grow because
Was it easier back then to influence the masses, or was it easier now to influence the masses? Because back then everybody was listening to one radio show, maybe
that's why
3 TV channels. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's
And
not
it
like this
wasn't all
big
those
wide
opinions.
range of TV channels. Not a big wide range.
that's a good question.
It's the same.
I
think it's the same.
That's a
They
good
probably
question.
didn't have.
Say like the 60s, right? Like, so during that time period, yes, we may have been attacked by the Ku Klux Klan, this, that, and the third, but like black communities was together. They were structured. It was families, strong. So during that time, I think like even that's why they pushed that white suppression shit, because during that same era, black people was the strongest. That's why they probably had to go the hardest at us during that time period. You see what I'm saying? We was doing all the right things during those days. So it's like they put the focus on, it's like post-slavery to the 60s. We're going to want y'all to focus on these white people putting hoses on y'all. We want y'all to focus on all this white oppression, not knowing that at that same fucking time, that's when y'all was at the top of y'all game. Be who you want to do, be what you want to be. All that's doing is breeding selfishness and selfishness. And narcissism. You make the world all about yourself.
Money.
But that's what I'm saying, because when you don't consider other people and you make the world about yourself, that's what creates chaos. It's like you're becoming your own God. It's like I'm my own God. Like, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? When you're not considering the community, you're not considering everybody else, and that's what creates chaos. If you knew that my actions is going to affect those next to me, you would be more responsible. You would make better decisions. But because it's YOLO, niggas be on some bullshit,
I think that's what the New World Order is, though. It's us conforming to this shit and not even realizing we do it. Just like now, how like they integrate, how like they're integrating a form of cryptocurrency for things. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna like force that on us. They're gonna like force changes on us to where we don't even have a choice, and we're gonna like normalize that shit.
Insurance, making a gun owner.
They can't.
So every time he use it, he got to pay money out, or the family got to pay money out.
If he kills somebody,
He's spitting right now.
Oh yeah,
he's spitting right now.
Isn't that like how the cops do? Like they keep a
settlement
record of
shit.
bullets and shit.
Yeah. So you in debt every time you fucking use that weapon.
Yeah, he did look weird. He kind of looked like Michael Jackson for a second.
I was about to say that. He looked like now he looked like Crow.
Yeah,
yeah,
bro. Yep.
Like,
Dang, that's crazy.
like
Don't
what's
you
up with
like
this?
Brandon Lee. Yep.
Yeah.
What's up with this? Korean, Mexican Brandon
Yo, that's
Lee.
some weird shit though.
You do look like him.
Bro.
Like,
And you
dude.
poor and you got like a whole iPhone 13, right? That look like 13.
All right, Brian fucking knew.
He said he's still paying on it. He's still paying on it. And it's not needed because it doesn't make any sense to say that, oh, he was bullied or whatever. So I'm bullied, so I'm going to go shoot my motherfucking grandmother.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to go down to this elementary school. And I don't know none of these little kids. And I'm going to shoot these little kids.
Yep.
So it's like, the story doesn't really add up.
Right.
It don't add up. It's not making sense of what they
Right.
putting out here
Right.
anyway.
Don't his face look like one of them like faces where they like, kind of like regenerate?
Yeah, man. Like,
Yeah, it look weird.
yeah, like,
It look weird.
Like, you know, like when it, like people missing for a long time and they kind of like regenerate.
And
how
hold
they
on.
look,
And
kinda
how
like
did they get this picture? This looks like a
15.
fucking
mugshot, right?
mugshot, but they killed them.
All these like stone megaliths, pyramids, Stonehenge,
Shit that we can't lift by
Yeah.
ourselves.
Chichen Itza, all this shit. Shown in Peru and all that shit.
100,000 ton stones.
Yes,
Yep.
stone shit. All right, so this is shit that
Laser
can like
cut.
withstand time and all that shit, right? So like,
See.
who's to say like, you know, time and time again, like human civilization built up on some like shit of this now, metal cars, you know, Ford Focuses and shit like that, and then just got deteriorated because they don't withstand the standard of time. What is gonna, you know, persevere our legacy? Like nothing we're doing right now is gonna persevere our legacy.
Yeah,
Our-
we don't have nothing. Yeah, I see what you're saying. We don't have nothing in stone like
our
the
etching
Egyptians
time,
and shit.
yeah.
or
even
whatever.
like leave our mark.
Nothing. Yeah, we got nothing. Maybe radio waves and that's it. But maybe like
No,
us.
even the evolution of like tech and all that shit. Nothing.
I was gonna say tech. It might be.
But
It might be. It might just be us. It might be us. Cause what y'all talking about? We're merging ourselves with machine. Last thing you're gonna do or whatever. Less performance. Your last hoorah or some shit like that. I don't know if it was opera or something. I forgot. Whatever. But yeah. So he had like cancer or some shit, and he was dying, and they got this nigga is knocked the fuck out.
I was like,